Saya dah penat.
Kadang-kadang we all smile on the outside, tapi dalam hati kita struggle dengan macam-macam dugaan. This is where we talk about the real stuff like mental health, healing and hope. Selamat datang ke Terus Terang, because terus terang we all deserve to be heard. Bersama Sab hari ini, kita ada Rika Melissa, pengasas Kopi Mother dan juga a survivor of postnatal depression. Apa khabar Rika?
Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih. Thank you so much for inviting me. Jadi saya boleh kongsi sedikit tentang cerita saya lah.
So cakap pasal cerita you kan, you boleh kongsikan tak lah macam growing up, macam mana your relationship dengan arwah ibu you?
Arwah ibu saya dengan saya rapat. Dahulu saya kerja shift. Kalau saya shift malam, kadang-kadang dia akan telefon, tanya dah makan, semua okey.
Bila you dapat tahu yang ibu you mula sakit?
Pertama sekali kita dapat tahu actually 2013. Ibu pergi jumpa doktor pasal dia rasa ada tertumbuhan dekat payudara. Doktor anggarkan untuk dia remove yang tumor tu. So lepas removal, kita ingat okey lah, ada hope lah, ada harapan yang boleh pulih lah. So pada masa tu, lepas operasi tu, dia kena pergi kemo untuk 2 tahun. Pada time dah 2014-2015. Tu doktor kata actually cancer dah spread. Itulah permulaan dia punya long journey of chemo and everything for nak masuk 6 tahun. So continue sampai 2019 lah bila dia meninggal dunia.
Bila you mula jumpa your pasangan hidup?
I think saya jumpa pasangan hidup saya 2019. Mula-mula is kami just berkawan lah. Kerana pada masa tu priority saya ialah ibu saya. Somehow in March bulan tu lah yang ibu saya meninggal. So bulan November tahun tu saya nikah lah dengan dia. Saya dapat tahu saya jadi ibu bulan Januari 2020.
So like during that period, you ada macam rasa rindu tak?
Dia punya rindu dia teramat sangat. Kadang-kadang nak ubat rindu tu saya tidur dekat bilik ibu saya lah. Belakang pintu ibu saya masih ada baju yang dia pakai yang terakhir lah. Saya ingat saya ambil, saya pakai, saya tidur. Pasal saya rasa macam dia peluk saya lah. Dalam keadaan mengandung ni, kita punya emosi lagi sensitif. 5th month was when I realised dia punya kesedihan turns to kesunyian. That was when I remember clearly I first started searching about depression. Instead of acknowledging that this is what I feel, I just macam bury it.
How was it like lepas you give birth to your anak?
So again, as a first time mom, there's so much stories you hear. So there was a mismatch of reality and expectation. But instead of trusting my body, I listened to everyone else that was around me. I think after I gave birth, I rasa macam nyawa I dekat luar badan. But I'm looking in. So it feels like I'm no longer part of my body. When my daughter was placed on me, I tak ada perasaan. And everyone who becomes a mom will tell you, it's the most beautiful feeling bila anak tu diletak atas dada you. But at that juncture, I cannot, I tak boleh see it. So when they wheel me back to the ward, everything, I couldn't sleep. I keep hearing baby nangis. But there was no baby around me.
Like macam during this time, like how was your mental health?
I've heard a lot of comments yang tak helpful. Things like, oh, baby tak bedung, nanti masuk angin. Oh, kaki tak pakai stocking, nanti masuk angin. Diorang cakap gitu, then it adds on to, you're not a good mother. You're not doing good enough. You don't know how to be a mother. Mungkin lah, I said niat diorang baik, tapi not to a new mother who's trying to macam cari jalan lah.
How about like macam bila baby nangis, ada rasa macam marah ke?
I was still trying to find that beautiful moment that everyone talked about. But I couldn't have it. Bila I angkat dia kan, nanti dia nangis. I macam trying to soothe dia macam, oh maybe dia nak susu, oh maybe dia nak ni, maybe dia nak tu. You tried so many things, it didn't work. Then you just rasa macam marah sangat macam. If I look back, nanti I rasa macam, why I think like that? But at that juncture, it was so intense. Then I will start crying lah.
Part mana yang you rasa like everything just go down?
Sebelum tidur, I usually have a habit lah, macam there's a few doa I will read before I tidur. But during that time, I just tidur. My doa was, Ya Allah, this is so painful. Like, if I'm not fit to be a mom, and if this daughter, like this child deserve a better mother, like take me lah. Because I don't know like how to get out of it. Because it was very heavy. If I can be very honest, it was very heavy. If I said this to people will say aku tak beriman, aku tak bersyukur. Then I think one day, my husband was on duty and it was a weekend. So I woke up, then I think I fed my daughter. After dah susukan dia, I nak mandikan dia, I remember. So instead of me walking to the toilet, I remember I just jalan terus keluar living room. When in the living room tu, I remember I saw picture of one of my last raya with my mother. So I tengok gambar dia, say, Mama, I'm very sorry but I cannot do this anymore. Dalam living room, tingkap dah macam terbuka. So I remember I stand on the chair with my daughter. I cakap like, Ya Allah, like, this is very difficult. I try so long already. I try every day, but it's very hard. Maybe if I just, jump with my daughter, I stop being a burden to people lah. So I remember I diri tu, I peluk dia. No, as I was looking out, that was when I dengar bunyi azan. There wasn't any radio tau kat rumah I. But for whatever reason, I dengar bunyi azan. And the azan is the 2 lines. It was very loud though in my ears. Macam, Ayah Star, Ayah Farhan. And then I macam, Ya Allah, like, Astaghfirullahaladzim, macam I istighfar. I went down, I peluk. I keep hugging my daughter. I keep telling her, minta maaf. Like, minta maaf. I don't know what's wrong with me. I really don't know what's wrong. I remember that. Lepas tu I straight away call my husband. I said, I'm not okay. I really am not okay. So at the same time, while waiting for him to try to come home, that's when I Google lah maksud. And maksud, that 2 lines is tu lah. Come to prayers, come to salvation. After that, I terus ambil wuduk. I terus sujud je. If your creator never give up on you, who are you to give up just because things are difficult or things don't make sense gitu. And I'll be very honest with you, like, it's not something macam I'm very proud of, but sharing this with you macam reminds me that macam sometimes in life you have to not care about what people will think of you because it doesn't matter.
With all that thing yang dah berlaku kan, you rasa you terpaksa rediscover yourself lagi ke tak?
I think lepas everything yang dah berlaku, I rasa macam I need to learn back who I am. Lepas I jumpa psychiatrist tu, I decided to do psychotherapy lah. So during therapy tu, I ingat lagi dia tanya I this one question. Dia cakap, so Rika, what do you like to do? Dulu kalau you tanya I can give you a long list of things macam, aku suka buat ni and buat ni. But after that, after becoming a mom, then after melalui that whole experience, I couldn't answer that question. Since kau dah tak tahu diri kau siapa, take this chance, kenali diri kau balik. So it felt like I was reborn lah. Slowly, pelan-pelan, then I start to appreciate the slower things in life. That's when I start to pick up things like coffee. Dulu sebelum ni, I tak minum kopi at all. Yeah, but after that, it was when I started the journey lah. I faham, this is how coffee beans are roasted. Then beans datang dari mana, from different parts of the world. Instead of separating that I am a mother, right now I told myself, you are a mother with 2 kids. What are the things that you can do together that makes you still feel you? I don't want them to remember as my mother sacrificed everything for me. Yeah, I want them to remember as my mother enjoy these things with us.
Then kalau you boleh terus terang to all the new moms kat luar sana kan, what would you advise them?
If I can be very honest, kalau dia terus terang, jangan don't let anyone gaslight what you feel. What you feel, what you think, kesusahan yang you alami, it's real. Don't let anyone make you feel less, and you should honor that.
Terima kasih Rika kerana sudi meluahkan perasaan dan pengalaman bagaimana menjadi seorang ibu and going through all that result. I think I really learn a lot.
Thank you. I really hope cerita saya boleh membantu sesiapa yang melalui the same thing lah.
Terima kasih Rika Melissa kerana meluangkan masa dengan Sab dan really terus terang tentang postpartum depression di kalangan orang muda kita. Air mata yang mengalir bukan tanda kelemahan seorang ibu. Malah, ia bukti ketabahan, keberanian dan cinta kepada cahaya mata. This is terus terang di mana setiap kisah walaupun gelap ada sinar di hujungnya.